In our Road to a Vaccine series, we're going to take a look at Operation Warp Speed, the Trump administration's unprecedented effort to accelerate production and distribution of a COVID vaccine. Still thinking about Wendy. The nearly $10 billion program is already producing tens of millions of vaccine doses, even before we know which vaccine candidates can be proven safe and effective. In a rare interview, retired Lieutenant General Paul Ostrowski, Director for Supply, Production, and Distribution, shares how they're tackling what he calls a Herculean task without sacrificing the safety. He spoke to our Dr. Tara Narula.
Operation Warp Speed's stated goal is to produce and deliver 300 million doses of safe and effective COVID vaccines to Americans, with the initial doses available by January 2021. Are you on target to accomplish that mission?
Absolutely. We are actually going to exceed that expectation. We will have vaccines, we anticipate, prior to the turn of the new year.
You will have 300 million doses prior to the new year?
No, we will start off with lower amounts and over time gradually build to that.
When should the general population expect to be able to get a vaccine?
It will probably be a prioritization-based schedule. We would expect that by the first quarter, end of first quarter, early second quarter of next year.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast.
Many Americans are concerned when they hear Operation Warp Speed, that somehow there's going to be a compromise in terms of safety.
We've gone through the same trial process as any other drug or vaccine ever has. And the amount of FDA oversight and the approval process with the FDA is just like any other drug or any other vaccine. It is unprecedented with respect to the speed. We're taking absolutely positively no shortcuts with respect to safety or efficacy.
What challenges do you foresee in getting a vaccine to Americans?
Well, at least one of them is a cold chain vaccine. In other words, the storage, it has to be kept fairly cold. And we're working with that particular pharmaceutical company in order to get further studies as to how long it can be frozen and how long it can stay in a refrigerator or how long it can be at room temperature.
Will the vaccine be free for all Americans?
Absolutely. 110% free, no out-of-pocket costs.
How will the vaccine be paid for?
Well, simply, the government has already bought the vaccines, and the government has already paid for the distribution of the vaccines.
The trade association that represents state immunization managers has asked Congress for $8.4 billion to help distribute the vaccine. Will states receive sufficient federal funds to be able to distribute a vaccine?
Absolutely. We've already distributed 200 million. Another 140 will be passed out soon as we've got these plans now back from the states. We understand what their challenges are and what they need.
There was a shortage of both PPE and testing supplies, especially early on in the pandemic. Can you assure the American people that the distribution of the vaccine will go more smoothly?
Absolutely, Tara, and this is why. We've got billions of needles, billions of syringes here in the United States that we're putting together in kits. And we are going to ship those kits in addition to the vaccines to an administration site.
The Trump administration has compared Operation Warp Speed's program to the notoriously secret government project to make the first atomic bomb.
Unlike anything our country has seen since the Manhattan Project.
What would you say to your critics who worry that your program may not be transparent?
We have been as transparent as we possibly can. You have to come together as a whole of America approach with our industry partners and get after the hard things, looking at what are the key factors wearing on the problem. So what we're trying to do now is become a lot more transparent with respect to where we're at, because frankly, now we have a plan and we feel good about our plans.
The Lieutenant General urged Americans to trust and take the vaccine. He also told us he expects Operation Warp Speed's distribution plan to remain the same regardless of who wins the presidential election.
A lot of important information in there, Tara. Thank you.